Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel StartupLanes.com. I'm Namrata and I'm conducting interviews of the CEOs and founders of several innovative startups in India. In today's interview, I'll be talking with the proud owners of Farmer's Family, Mr. Vikal and Mr. Mayank Kulshrestha. Coming from the background of chartered accountancy and hospitality, both the founders were deeply affected to see how the consumption of chemically grown fruits and vegetables were causing some serious health issues. Thus, Farmer's Family was born to bridge the gap between the farm and our dinner tables. You want to know more about his business? Let's get into the video.
Hello, sir. Good morning and welcome to today's session. So, if you could please kindly introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, I'm Vikal Kulshreshtha, the founder of Farmer's Family.
Yeah, I'm Mayank Kulshrestha. By profession, I'm chartered accountant, and I'm also the founder of Farmer's Family.
Okay, great. So, how did you come up with this idea of the startup?
Namrata, this idea started almost a year back when this lockdown started, and we were actually already working on the vertical of agriculture by way of sourcing honey and jaggery, and we used to promote it into our local circuit. But when this lockdown started, we thought of doing this business a bit more serious way. So we planned the complete story. We drafted it, and we almost penned it down for almost 3 months. And after 3 months, let's say, we started somewhere in April, and by August we were ready with our plan. So in August we started Farmer Family as a startup, and now the journey is almost 9 months plus.
Okay, so we all know that every startup is unique in its own way. So, what were the difficulties that you faced during early stage of your startup?
See, in general, I will be very true to you that we did not face any difficulty while starting this venture, because first of all, we carefully drafted our complete business model, and then we were also lucky enough to get the seed funding at a very early stage. So that made us confident that yes, the plan what we are thinking is good enough, and then we had a person who is supporting it. So the early journey started very well for us. And then, as I said, it's now 8 months and we are progressing daily. So we are getting market, we are getting sourcing. Our sourcing line is very healthy. The supply chain line is very healthy. Market, we are slowly developing. Then everything is in its place. So I feel somewhere that we are lucky enough that such a bad competition or anything which is rough for business does not happen with us.
Talking about market, did you find any market gap that had to be filled?
Yes, it's a big gap, and the solution what we are trying to give is we want to give health to the people and wealth to the farmer.
Okay, so can you explain your business model?
Yes, see, at present this is a B2C model. Here we are procuring our fruits, veggies, and grocery items through the collection centers, which are established in 3 locations. One is in Uttarakhand, in Uttar Pradesh, at a place called Hapur, and then 2 are at Uttarakhand. So these collection centers are responsible for collecting all the farm produce related to fruits, veggies, and grocery items. From there, it is sorted out and sent to the distribution center in Noida. And from Noida, once it reaches down, there it is processed again. Fruits, veggies get cleaned through our machine lines, and then they are sorted out, packed, hygienically packed, and delivered through our delivery channels. And it reaches finally to our B2C customers, the households who are residing in 10-kilometer vicinity from this Noida center. And recently, we have also started selling it to the resellers in a B2B model. Means there we are giving wholesale supply to all these retailers who are located around major RWA societies or they are inside the societies. So there also we have started supplying them with vegetables and fruits as of now.
Okay. And while starting out, so did you take any investment from someone, or did your friends and family come and invest?
It was a mix of both. We did have, as I said earlier, we were lucky enough to have a seed round investment raised, and also there was a capital raised internally from friends and family. So this was done at a very early stage.
Okay. So we all know that we are amidst a pandemic, and there are several factors involved in running a business successfully. So what kind of factors do you think will impact your business in the coming years?
See, as food is one of the most important elements for a personal life. I would say there is nothing which is going to deter the development of this business, because in any case, a person is going to feed his stomach by any means, and he has to have a consumption of food. And we are selling the basic, the most rawest form of the food, which is vegetable or a fruit, right? So there, I don't foresee any kind of a negative downtrend going out in the market by any of the people. Means it will always be there. Rest, it all depends like how well you penetrate in the market. It is up to us. How well we connect with our customers, it is up to us. But in any case, the customers are going to be there, and feeding the stomachs are going to be there.
So when a company grows, it always requires man force, labor. So are you looking to hire any fresh talents in your team?
Yes, there is already a team of around 25 person who are regularly involved in the routine operations, and there is also a team which governs the systems. So it includes professionals from various fields. We have got CA, CS, then people from legal background, then people from mentorship backgrounds, people from marketing backgrounds. They are already on board in the system, and we are always open for new minds. And recent development which has taken place is we have been shortlisted by IIM Lucknow, and they have become our incubators for this program.
Okay. So while hiring people, what are the considerations you look at? What are the specifications?
See, at present, there are two levels of people we are looking at, the middle management and the operations team. So operations teams, we are more keen in bringing people from I would say, less education is needed for that operation field. And we are trying to bring in people from farming background, actually, because they are the one who knows the veggies and fruits very well. They know how to store it. They know what the quality is. So as a supportive measure to these farmers, we want to bring themselves or their families or their children into the system. So this way, we will be supporting to them, and it's a both-way integration. Like they know what the business is, and we are supporting them to develop this business. And then at the middle level, obviously, we look for all sort of brains who can come into picture. And finally, we need somebody from agriculture background, agronomist, you can say.
Okay. So what are the there are several factors involved in leading a team of so many people, like you said, 25 people and more. So what do you think are the good qualities required to be a good leader?
See, obviously, for a good leader, you need to have a habit of working with a team, and that means team at all the levels. So you need to understand the concerns raised by anybody at any level, and then you should also be a guiding force in developing that resource, working at any of the level again. So there, I would say it's an understanding of mind, it's an understanding of the brains, and then it gives cohesiveness in the teams also. So you have to be very flexible while you're working with people. I mean, for me, my probably the person who is at the lowest level is also very helpful. He may be giving you advices which are very fruitful. So we are always open for that kind of suggestions, and we welcome that approach. And this way, I think we are creating a good atmosphere around in the company.
And adding up to it, I'd like to ask whether what are the things that you think come with a CEO, like the best parts and the worst parts of being a CEO?
The best and the worst part of CEO is that you have to work at all the levels. So we are open and we work at all the levels.
And worst parts,
Pardon?
worst parts, like the bad parts of being a CEO.
There is nothing called worse, I would say. Reason being, see, when you're passionate about doing anything, and one way we say it is our own way. So, I mean, we have to do the hand holdings of our own business at all the levels. Whatever kind of work is there, I mean, there is nothing called worst in the system, I would say, personally, because see, when you're passionate, you love it, and when you love it, then there is nothing called bad about it. It's all good. So, I mean, I don't foresee anything worse in the system.
So likewise, I'd like to add, we are working from since 4 in the morning in the farms. At 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. with the office, we had breakfast here. Then we are working toward the corporate structure of the business. Then the development of the distribution center, development of the business, and again then the supply chain management. So all is being taken care by us only during this time. But obviously, we need to build a team which can do which can supplement us.
Great,
But
sir.
right
Great
now
to hear.
we are focused to keep and learn anything and everything about this business.
Right, sir. So during the pandemic, did you face any difficult, did you have to make any tough decisions like budget cuts or market withdrawals or organizational restructuring in any way?
See, during this pandemic, the most important concern with us was the safety of our staff because they were all in the fields and the system was operational 7 days a week. So, our most important concern was the health and safety of the staff which are involved in the routine operations. So, that was a major big concern. Otherwise, rest everything was open to the general public and the same was open to us also.
And also would like to add, so there that was a good thing that we don't have to retrench any staff during the lockdown or so. In fact, we have added our staff because obviously our business has gone up during that lockdown phase. Plus, on the budget part, we are a startup company, but we do not believe in the burning of cash on marketing activities very much. So we are calling ourselves a hybrid model in which we will penetrate into the market in a faster way like a startup, but we will be also a bit conservative on preserving cash. So in the lockdown phase, we have to just cut down the activities or spend on the marketing. Rest all is going very fine.
Right, sir. So since you are saying that in the pandemic, your business boomed. So what are the, like, are you looking for any vendors to simplify those business processes?
In general, see, as I said earlier, we did a complete study before launching out this model. So there we figure out everything which is needed to run the system, and gradually whatever thought we had in our minds is working successfully. People are appreciating and accepting it. So that way, I foresee the model was complete when it was launched, and then obviously new versions will be added once we had a growth, systematic growth in our current set of version. We've got other version also related to this model. Like, so that will be rolled out once we achieve sustainable growth in the current set of model. So I don't think that we need any much more intervention or new thoughts at this stage of business.
Okay. So I'd like to also know that what are the short-term and long-term goals planned for your company?
For the short-term plans, so we are planning to at least have a consumer base of around 10,000 customers in the next 3 months. Right now, we are at 3,000 customers, and we wish to penetrate very fast in the next 3 months. We want to 3x our customers first. Then obviously the sales figures will be automatically linked to the number of customers. Plus, the only thing we want to differentiate ourselves, we want a sustainable growth in which we are having a 99.9% satisfied customer. Because that B2C business is a really challenge. It's a really a challenge for every other startup which we can see in this field. So almost everyone has started as a B2C model, but ultimately they got converted into B2B model. So we want to create a system where consumer is the king. So every redressal policy of the consumer is there in the system, and he gets listened to.
And any long-term goals?
So long-term goals, we can say if we want to build a system where we can at least cover the North Indian part and have multiple distribution centers across and supplying at least around 5 lakh households.
Okay. So great, sir. Lastly, I would like to ask if you have anything to share for our viewers to motivate them.
So one good update is there. We have been recently joined by a team, which is the main promoters of our SafeX group, which is basically a agrochemicals based business, and it is among the top 5 players of India. So they are basically into agrochemicals business, and they are having around 10,000 distribution network and around presence in 17 states. So their promoters have joined us as investors. So that is a very good development for us, and we look forward for such good association in future also.
Okay, that concludes our session today. But thank you for joining and speaking about your business model. It was a great learning experience.
Thank you. Same here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.